Hey guys, it's Lorie, and welcome back to my channel. So this is actually Lorie from the future to tell you guys that the video that you are about to watch is actually several weeks old. I filmed a January haul video like literally in the beginning of January. It had to have been like in the first week of January because I had acquired a lot of books in the beginning of January. And some things happened in the month of January and I didn't end up getting the January haul video up in the beginning of January like I wanted. In fact, now it is like the second week of February and it's now going up. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that some of the things that I say obviously is not it's not accurate with the time now since it is February. So I just wanted to let you guys know that and of course still share the haul with you because it is a pretty good haul and I wanted to get the video up still. So without further ado, here is the original video. Hey guys, it's Lorie, and welcome back to my channel. So it is the month of January, and my birthday has come and gone. For those of you guys who don't know, my birthday is actually in the first week of January. My birthday is the 5th of January. So I had a really good birthday. I went out to eat, and my husband paid for a hot stone massage, and he got me a cheesecake, and I just got generally spoiled on my birthday by lots of different people as well. I also celebrated my birthday on my Twitch stream, so for those of you guys who attended the birthday stream, thank you guys for being there. It was so much fun. And of course, I got books as well for my birthday. So for this video today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys all the books that I've already received in the month of January. So without further ado, let's just get into all of the books that I have received. So really quickly too, I wanted to mention that some of these books were birthday presents and others were just books that I pre-ordered, and then there's some books that I have that I just bought on a whim. It's like a hodgepodge of different times that I bought these books, but I've acquired them all pretty much in January. So to start off the haul, on my birthday weekend, my husband and I actually went book shopping. We went to several different local bookstores and picked up a couple of things. One of the first things that we got was this book here. This is called Beyonders, A World Without Heroes by Brandon Mole. So this is actually something my husband found and picked out, and he said it got a really good rating on Goodreads, and it does sound really interesting. Also, the book was in really, really good condition. So the little excerpt here says, Jason Walker has often wished his life could be a bit less predictable until a routine day at the zoo ends with Jason transporting from the hippo tank into a strange, imperiled world. Lyrian is full of dangers and challenges unlike any place Jason's ever known. The people live in fear of their malicious wizard emperor, Maldor. The brave resistors who once opposed Maldor have been fought off or broken, leaving a realm where fear and suspicion prevail. In his search for a way home, Jason meets Rachel, who also mysteriously drawn to Lyrian from our world. Jason and Rachel become entangled in a quest to piece together the word of power that can destroy the Emperor and learn that their best hope to find a way home will be to save this world without heroes. So this sounds really, really interesting. The next books I have are kind of all a part of the same series, so I'm just going to show them off in one go here because there are quite a few of them. So we picked up a bunch of different World of Warcraft novels. Some of them are upside down too, but we have World of Warcraft, The Shattering Prelude to Cataclysm, Tides of Darkness, Arthas, Rise of the Lich King, Beyond the Dark Portal, and Rise of the Horde. So all these little Warcraft novels are basically lore and more information about the story of World of Warcraft, for those of you guys who are familiar with the super famous MMO that's been around now for, I don't even know, like 15 years. It's been a long time. And I am actually not currently playing World of Warcraft, but the World of Warcraft lore, the story in the game has always been really compelling to me. So I've always been interested in delving more into the backstory of some of the characters and learning more about the world. The next book that I found at the used bookstore was Persepolis, The Story of a Childhood by Marjane Satrapi. So this is actually a graphic novel about the main character growing up in Iran during the Islamic Revolution. So I've heard some really good things about this, and it's definitely something that I don't usually read, and I've been wanting to pick up more graphic novels. So I saw this at the used bookstore, and I was like, I want it. I want it. The next book that I have is Trickster's Queen by Tamora Pierce. This is the sequel to Trickster's Choice. So I have heard a lot of good things about the series, and I still have not read the first book, but I saw this on a really good sale at the used bookstore, and I didn't want to miss out, especially since it was in really good condition, and I'm obviously going to read the first book because I have it. I didn't want to miss out on the second book at a really discounted price, so. And the last book that we found at the used bookstore was Fae Fever by Karen Marie Moning. So this is a paranormal romance, I think, that involves fairies and vampires, I believe. I have been recommended this series a couple of times already by several friends, and I saw this there and I was just like, oh my gosh, that sounds familiar. And lo and behold, it was the series that, of course, I've been recommended. So this is actually the third book in the series. I didn't find the first or the second book there, so I was like, well, might as well just grab the third book in case I really, really like it. Plus it was really cheap. So the next books that I have, I actually got from Barnes & Noble, just kind of shopping. My husband and I actually went and saw The Last Jedi a second time, and while we were waiting for our movie showing, we went into Barnes & Noble, and of course I had to get some things from there. The first thing that I have is Stars Above by Marissa Meyer. I am currently reading the Lunar Chronicle series, and I definitely wanted to pick up some of the side stories and stuff of that series, so I saw this and decided to grab it. I think this book is actually a book of short stories that are in the Lunar Chronicles universe. I'm pretty sure I looked it up too because I wasn't sure if there was a specific order of reading Marissa Meyer's Lunar Chronicles books, and she actually does have a preferred method that you read them, and I think actually a couple of her short stories that are in this were listed as some things that you should read before some of the books in the main series. So since reading that, I was like, well, I need to get them so I can read them in the right order, especially if the author recommends that you read them in a specific order. And the last book that I got from Barnes & Noble is Wires and Nerve by Marissa Meyer. This is yet again another graphic novel, but it is about Aiko, who is Cinder's little robot that she has in the beginning of the series. I've heard nothing but good things about this graphic novel, and like I mentioned, I wanted to start reading more graphic novels this year, so the next book that I have is actually Star Wars Moving Target, a Princess Leia adventure by Cecil Castellucci and Jason Fry. So I've been really interested in the Star Wars lore and reading the new expanded universe, so I saw this at the used bookstore and it's in really good condition, and this is actually canon to the series, so I grabbed it. Also, it is very short. This is a really, really short book. So this is something that I could definitely read during a readathon, or if I want to just read a book really, really quickly. The next three books that I have are books that I actually got off of Amazon. The first book that I have is Beneath the Sugar Sky by Sinan McGuire. This is the third book in the Wayward Children series. It is told from the perspective of Sumi's child, so if you've read the first book in the Wayward Children series, then you know who Sumi is, and you'd probably be even more surprised that she has a child. So I'm excited to get through this. This is also another really short book. I'm actually hoping to read this month. The next book that I have is This Immortal Coil by Emily Suvada. So I'm just gonna read the back for you guys because this is a really interesting sounding book, and I kind of don't want to read the excerpt because I feel like this is something that would probably be better to go into blind, in my opinion. So it says, if you're reading this, it means I am dead. Have completed a Hydra vaccine, our last chance at survival. You must decrypt it. Never let them take you. That's all it says. And then it has this really interesting code around those words. So yeah, I saw this in the bookstore and I was like, I have to read that sometime. Also, can we talk about how Amazon packages books? This book came damaged, so I actually had to order another one, which is coming really soon, or should be already here. But yeah, this one was actually damaged, so I got a new one. The next book that I have is Uprooted by Naomi Novik. So this is a very, very beloved fantasy series. This is really popular, and I've heard really amazing things about this. So I saw this and I knew that I had to get it. I kind of would have preferred to have the hardcover, but the hardcover is actually kind of hard to find. So, and plus I think the hardcover is really expensive as well. So I just got the paperback and I cannot wait to read this. It's like, I think it's a retelling. It's like fairy tale-esque, there's dragons. It sounds like a good time. The next book that I have is The Starlit Wood, New Fairy Tales, and it's by various authors, by Sinan McGuire, Jeffrey Ford, Naomi Novik, Aliette D. Bodard, Marjorie Louis, Gareth Nix, and Catherine N. Valente, and more. So there's a lot of really amazing authors in here that have kind of done retellings of fairy tales. And for those of you guys who aren't new here, you know that I love me some fairy tales. So I saw this in the used bookstore and it's in really good condition, and I was really surprised to see a whole bunch of authors on here that I actually love and that are like renowned fantasy authors. So this is something that I got super excited about when I saw it. And the last book that I got from Amazon was The Alchemists of Loom by Elise Kova. So this is another series that has gotten so much hype, and it's another fantasy series, but I've heard that it's just amazing and it's people's like new favorite fantasy series, and the author is apparently amazing, and it just looks really good. Like, look at this cover too. Like, whoever that is, she looks like a badass. So I'm pretty excited about it. So the next book that I have, I actually got from a book swap buying like used books group. And it's a book that I actually already own, but I wanted to have a physical copy. This is like my life story. And that book is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. So the first time that I read A Court of Thorns and Roses, I read it on my e-reader, and I really, really enjoyed the series. You guys, you know, couldn't tell, didn't know, weren't aware. And I got the second and the third book in a physical copy of it, and I've never had a physical copy of the first book. So when I saw someone was selling a like new copy of A Court of Thorns and Roses, it's a used copy, but you can really not tell that it's used. It's in really good condition. I jumped on it, and it was really cheap. So I've already read it, but I just wanted to have a physical copy of it. So the next books that I have were actually presents from friends or from people that are a part of my community on Twitch. So the first book that I have to show you guys is this Time magazine. It is the special Time edition, Star Wars 40 Years of the Force. And honestly, it is just a magazine filled with Star Wars stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure the entire magazine is just about Star Wars. So my husband actually found this at the grocery store, I think, and he picked it up, and I was really stoked about it because, like, look. I'm pretty into Star Wars nowadays, so I was excited. The next thing that I have to show you guys is actually a box set that my mother actually got for me for my birthday, and that is this, like, Star Wars, I don't even know what to call this, The Jedi Path, a manual for students of the Force, and also the Book of Sith, Secrets from the Dark Side. So it comes in this really beautiful, like, wooden case. Like, it is really, really pretty. Look at that. And then on the inside, when you pull it out, it has the Book of the Sith right here. And it has a whole bunch of just information about the Sith, like information about their lightsabers and so much more. And then the same thing with the Path of the Jedi. There's just so much information in these. The next thing that came with it was this little like plaque. It has like some Sith up there, and then there's Jedi down here. This is just really, really, really cool. And I was really excited to get this. I'm not entirely sure if this is actually canon to the series. Like, I've been seeing that it's actually not really canon. There's probably like bits and pieces that are canon, but then of course there's some that's not. But either way, I was still really, really excited to receive it because it's such a cool gift, and I'm really enjoying Star Wars right now, so very, very cool. Thanks, Mother. And the next thing that I received for my birthday was actually from a friend on Twitch, and that was the Hunger Games trilogy, and it is in this like special foiled, like paperback foiled edition. It's really, really pretty. So it comes in this foiled metallic box. Really, really gorgeous. And then the books, here they are. Here's the Hunger Games. Like, look how shiny. It is gorgeous. And then Catching Fire. is red. Sorry for the glare. And then Mockingjay is like blue. And these editions are gorgeous. I've already read The Hunger Games and I really, really adored the series, but I don't have physical copies of them, so I wanted them, and this edition is beautiful. So super happy. Shout out to Insane Man, who is a part of my community on Twitch. Thank you so much for doing this for me, for getting this for my birthday. I love it. And the next books I have to share with you guys are actually books from Book Outlet, once again. So I'm gonna kind of go through these really quick because I already feel like this video is going to be really long because of how many books there are in this haul. So I'm gonna kind of briefly go over what they're about if I know what they're about, and then just kind of rapid fire go through everything. So here we go. The first book is Spindlefire by Lexa Hillier. I believe this is actually a retelling of Sleeping Beauty. So excited about this. Love myself fairy tale retellings or any retellings about princesses and just retellings. I love them. The next book that I have is The Serpent King by Jeff Zenter. This, I believe, is a contemporary, and it is a pull on your heartstrings, make you ugly cry book, I believe. I've heard nothing but good things. I love a good contemporary every now and then, so especially one that makes me ugly cry. So on the subject of contemporaries, I definitely feel like I got a lot of contemporaries from this Book Outlet order, but the next one I have is Isla and the Happily Ever After. This is by Stephanie Perkins. I really, really enjoy Stephanie Perkins' writing. Her books have been really fluffy, and if you're in a terrible, horrid mood and you want something to just pick you right up or actually pull you out of a reading slump, these are great books. All of these books by Stephanie Perkins, fantastic. Next, I have the Lara Jean box set. So I have To All the Boys I've Loved Before, P.S. I Still Love You, and Always and Forever, Lara Jean. I've read the first two books, but I haven't actually read the third one yet. I'm excited to read the third one and finish up the series. I love this series. It's really, really cute, really fluffy, really lighthearted. Another kind of series to get you out of a reading slump, or if you're just trying to fill the gaps between like fantasy and you just want to break. These are so cute. Like this is a really cute series. I'm actually really excited this is going to be a movie too. I think they announced it at the middle of the year last year that this is going to be a movie. So that's super exciting. The next book that I have is Ruined by Amy Tintera. And this is a fantasy novel, I believe, about revenge and how the revenge is ruining the main character, and it sounds really good. I love a good vengeance, going to kill everybody story. So excited about this. The next book I have is Winter Song by S.J. Jones. So I read the blurb the excerpt of this, and it kind of reminds me of The Labyrinth. I don't know if it's a retelling of The Labyrinth or if there's just like pieces of The Labyrinth like that are put in this. I don't know. It just kind of reminds me of The Labyrinth. So it has to do with like a Goblin King, and like I think the Goblin King takes children or girls. It sounds really interesting. So Labyrinth book, I think, maybe. And the next book I have is Ash and Bramble by Sarah Prineas. This is another retelling. That's my life, retellings. And it is a Cinderella retelling, and it was also blurbed by Tamora Pierce, so that's pretty exciting. Tamora Pierce. Oh, Ray Carson too blurbed about this book. So fairy tale retelling and blurbed by two really awesome authors. Definitely excited. And the last and final book I have for this haul, that was quite a lot of books, is Everything by Nicola Yoon. So this is another contemporary novel, and it is another novel that I think will make you ugly cry. So I read the very first sentence of the excerpt, and it said that my disease is rare, so it's probably gonna make me sad, but I've heard nothing but good things. It's also a movie, which I've heard the movie was pretty good as well. So those were all of the books that I have already gotten in the month of January. By the way, it is like still I think the first week of January or like the beginning of the second week of January, and I've already gotten this many books. I have problems. But I think I might put myself on a book buying ban, at least for novels. Like, I do think that I want to buy a couple more graphic novels here and there, because I have been wanting to read more of those lately. Like, that's something that I've really been wanting to read as of lately. And maybe some more Star Wars novels. I don't know. We did just recently check out a whole bunch of Star Wars novels from the library, so I don't actually need to buy any Star Wars novels. I don't know. We'll see what happens. You guys will find out next month. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a legendary thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Lorie, and I post videos every Tuesday. I will see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye!